Hey geeks, in this video I'm gonna tell you the 10 most important tips for buying gaming laptops. If you've never bought a gaming laptop or have one and you want to upgrade, then this video will give some very useful tips that apply to all gaming. Tip number 1. The graphics on the laptop are the most important for gaming. They control the entire rig and make sure that your gaming renders smoothly and fast. Graphics give you the best experience. The graphics card or GPU is the keystone of your gaming laptop. It delivers the images on your display by processing the data and transmitting the signal to the monitor. Expensive laptops have great graphics. Cheap laptops have less powerful graphics, meaning rendering might not be so fast and smooth. Here are the best graphics cards whether you are on a high or low budget. The NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060. Laptops with 1060 cards can play taxing games like Mass Effect, Andromeda or Witcher 3 without sacrificing some of the cooler visual eye candy, including water reflections and natural looking hair. At 1920 by 1080, you might have to tweak the settings a bit at 4K, but not too much. Even better, you can hook up your Rift or Vive headset up for a mobile plug and play VR experience. The NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 or 1050 Ti is a setup below the 1060. The GTX 1050 will churn out some solid frame rates in mid-range games like Battlefield 1 at very modest settings. Your system accordingly. Tip number 2. The CPU. Intel only. You probably won't find a gaming laptop with an AMD CPU. Choose at least 6th gen core. The latest generation of Intel CPUs are the chipmaker's 7th generation, Kaby Lake series that launched in late 2016. All Kaby Lake CPUs have model numbers that begin with a 7. While older 6th generation chips have IDs that begin with a 6. Example, the Core i5-6200 tuning utility. Tip number 3. The RAM. Gaming can be RAM intensive and 8GB is what we recommend for even average productivity tasks. If you can, you should go for 16GB on a gaming PC or laptop. A laptop with a GTX 1650 or 1660 Ti usually comes with 8GB. Once you get to a GTX 206 2060 or higher, some will come with 16GB of RAM. If you can't get your laptop with 16GB of RAM, consider upgrading it in the near future. RAM requirements differ for each game title and format. First-person combat sport and adventure simulators, virtual reality and so on. Memory is upgradable in many gaming laptops, so this is an area that you can consider boosting later if you're handy with a screwdriver. So here's what we recommend. For people who don't want to spend more than $600 on a gaming laptop, then you'll have to come to terms with gaming on a 4GB RAM. For gamers who can spend more, then 8GB should run most games fast and smoothly. You shouldn't go with any problem gigabytes memory gaming. Once you have 16GB or higher, you can game as you please. Here's a pro tip. Get a laptop with 8GB of RAM and extra slots, so you can upgrade later. The biggest thing people always forget is portability. Despite most gamers taking place in the sweet bedroom gaming setup, it is always useful to be able to bring your gaming laptop anywhere, hence the weight. So tip 4 is portability. Gaming PCs are great for gaming, but can be a hassle if you're on the move. Having to constantly move each component, but with light and easy, then your trouble should go away. Most gaming laptops tend to weigh around 1 kilo. Anything heavier than 3 kilos can get tiring to carry around and will be hard at times. Screen sizes also heavily determine the weight of gaming laptops on the big screen. Gaming systems have higher end components that run off the mill consumer laptops, so their prices constantly will be higher, but the range across the category is huge. They're $1,000 to $5,000 and up. The budget gaming laptops start around $700, can go up to $1,250. For that you get a system that you can play games at full HD resolution, 1080p, with the settings turned down in most titles or at maximum quality settings in simpler games. Storage may be a hard drive or a modest capacity solid state drive, SSD. An SSD is always preferable. Want something better? Mid-range systems give you smoother gameplay at higher maximum settings on a better quality 1080p screen, often in concert with a special high refresh screen more than in a moment, and should add support for VR headsets. These models will range in price from $1,250 to $2,000. High-end systems, meanwhile, should guarantee you smooth gameplay at 1080p with graphics details maxed out, often with a high refresh screen. They even let you play at 4K resolution if the screen supports it. A high-end model should also be able to power a VR headset and support additional external monitors. These machines tend to come with speedy storage components such as PCI Express solid-state drives, and they are priced above $2,000, often close to $3,000. Some laptops are in this class support QHD 2560 by 1440 pixel or 4K screens. A hard drive to supplement the SSD and ultra-efficient cooling fans is optional. Thanks to modern advancements, an increasing number of things are at the very highest end of the market. A handful of elite boutique models will support dual graphics. Such rare bird machines will be massive and expensive with minimal battery life. Tip 6. Laptops you should definitely give preference to assist game level. Go ahead and get a gaming laptop with an SSD, but make sure you configure correctly. A small capacity 256 GB SSD with a roomy 1TB or greater spinning secondary hard drive is a good start if you also download the occasional video from the internet. Only thicker gaming laptops will tend to support dual drive arrangement like this. Higher capacity SSDs, 512 GB or more, are available, but choosing one will increase the purchase price of your gaming rig by a bunch. SSDs are very fast, but in terms of capacity, your money goes much further with hard drives. Adding more SSD capacity can make this price vary quickly. Still, recognize how big modern game downloads can be, in the tens of gigabytes, and shop accordingly. A too small SSD can mean you're forever shuffling games on and off the drive range. Tip 7. Ports. More ports mean more options for expanding a laptop's functionality. Some gaming laptops may cut down the number of ports available in order to achieve a smaller form factor. So keep this trade-off in mind when comparing. Laptop's ports. Key features. Display. Connect external monitors or HD TVs using these ports, most common of which are HDMI and DisplayPort. USB ports. USB ports can be used to connect mice, headsets, external hard drives, and countless other peripherals. Revision numbers like 2.0, 3.0, or 3.1 reflect the port's data transfer speed, while classifications like Type A and Type C refer to the shape of the connector. Audio. Most laptops have a 3.5mm headphone jack as well as USB. Cooling is crucial. Improvements in cooling have allowed laptops manufacturers to upend the old stereotype of thick, unwieldy gaming laptops. Today, some of the most powerful systems on the market are thin laptops with a meticulously engineered cooling system. Tip 9. Inputs. Taking full advantage of a laptop's input and output can enable a desktop-like gaming experience at home. Connect the gaming mouse, a more responsive keyboard, or premium audio to create a fully featured gaming station with a laptop at the center. Laptop inputs. Key features. Here are the key features of a laptop inputs. Mechanical keyboard. Though most gaming laptops don't use mechanical switches, you can easily connect an external keyboard via USB to enjoy a full-sized keyboard layout with the switches and aesthetics you prefer. This is insane. Gaming mouse. Or gaming mice. Laptop touchpads have come a long way and are specifically designed for comfortably daily use. When gaming, however, it might be preferable to connect the mouse with additional inputs optional for more precise customizable movement. Given that high-end components tend to drain battery life, don't plan on taking any gaming rigs too far from a wall socket very often. Cutting-edge ports like a USB Type-C and Thunderbolt 3 are beneficial now and will only be more so down the road. But look for at least two ordinary shaped, aka Type A USB 3.0 ports so you can plug in an external mouse and a hard drive for your saved media file. Thanks for watching this video. Click this video next and subscribe.